we have a massive report on who the Cavs' top 3 targets should be in this free agency. Who are these 3 guys? How can the Cavs acquire them? And if they can acquire them, what kind of value would they bring to this team that is so desperately trying to get over the playoff hump? How can Dan Gilbert and Koby Altman make the move to improve our roster and go for what Bleacher Report believes is our top 3 free agents for the Cavs to go ahead and grab? I'm at Palange with Cavs Digest, and with it being the Cavs offseason, guys, there's been so many reports, so many rumors coming out, and that is your chance to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any rumors, any reports, and you can tell everybody, I know what's happening with the Cavs because we are going to push out literally everything and not miss a thing here on Cavs Digest. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I promise you're not going to regret it. But who are these 3 players, guys? This is a massive, big information that that Bleacher Report decided to post on Instagram today. Who are the Cavs' top 3 free agent targets? How can the Cavs acquire them? And what kind of value do they bring? I have all that information, guys. I prepared this video really, really well. I'm so excited to share it all with you guys. So let's start off with our top 3 targets. Boom! Giannis Antetokounmpo, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Isaiah Stewart is what Bleacher Report believes to be the top 3 guys the Cavaliers should go ahead and acquire. Obviously, since the Cavs have lost, there's been a lot of talk surrounding Giannis. The possibility, I made a video on how Evan Mobley was rumored to be a straight-up deal possibly for Giannis, which is not really possible at all unless the Cavs and Bucks do a workaround with contracts, but with the second apron. So I don't think it's really that possible to acquire Giannis, but Dorian Finney-Smith and Isaiah Stewart are both free agents. Therefore, they can sign these guys. What kind of value would these guys bring? Obviously, we talked about Giannis, but we're still going to talk about Giannis just as a player in general. In my opinion, the best transition player in the history of the game of basketball. It only takes him 3 steps. But, as I said, the only true way to acquire this guy is if you trade Evan Mobley straight up, because you can't make multiple player deals. You can only trade straight up. So it'd have to be Mobley for Giannis straight up. And I saw your guys' comments when I talked about that Mobley for Giannis video, and it seems like most of us would rather just keep Mobley because the floor spacing of Giannis and Jarrett Allen doesn't really seem to work. Plus, you lose a lot of your youth, and it would be kind of sad to have no young guys except who you draft. And we know how the Cavs are developing young guys with Luke Travers and Amani Bates and Jalen Tyson right now. And Tyson's actually a big trade piece that we can use. But those are the top 3 guys. So I made a trade proposal for Giannis of what would be the most likely thing here. And it's just Giannis for Mobley straight up. And it kind of tells you that the cap space for the Cavaliers does not allow this. So Mobley's bonus from winning Defensive Player of the Year could affect the cap space and could make it to where you could trade Giannis for Mobley straight up. There would just have to be a contract workaround. But as of right now, the only way to acquire Giannis is Mobley straight up. So that's the first question for today. Would you guys be down to trade Mobley straight up for Giannis? If it is possible. As of right now, it seems impossible, but I'm sure there's some workaround that they can do for it. Me personally, I prefer these other 2 free agents and the value that they bring without having to lose Evan Mobley. Of course, Jarrett Allen. Go check out Billy's most recent video. It was a banger. It was big news that we actually got about Jarrett Allen, Darius Garland not being untouchable and could be free agent target. So maybe Jarrett Allen could be pieced up for a bigger name guy if they make a trade. But as of right now, it's looking like we have to rely on signing free agents. But Evan Mobley for Giannis is the first thing, and it seems very unlikely that we get him. So, but if we can, would you guys like it? The next player for today is going to be Isaiah Stewart. He loves to fight, but I promise you guys, this guy brings a lot more value than you think. Excuse me, this is the right video. This is him actually crossing up Evan Mobley and then just a good layup on him. The bench loved it. Beautiful move. And of course, this is just one move. Like Isaiah Stewart's not a highlight reel guy, but I really want to talk about his pros that he brings to this team. So he is a 6-point per game scorer, 5 rebounds a game. So the stats don't show you much, but he can stretch out the floor a little bit. He's 6'8", he's super young. The biggest thing about him is he's a backup center who's super physical. And let me show you guys this. He is an absolutely unbelievable defender. This is hard to break down from me to you personally, so go ahead and screenshot if you have to. I'm going to leave it up here for a second. Look at these. If you go through it, again, try to screenshot or just pause the video and read it real quick. Give you guys that chance. Okay. So if you didn't pause it, but you see all these statistics, look how phenomenal of a defender this guy is. This is the exact elite rim protector that they need to replace Jarrett Allen when Jarrett Allen is being Jarrett Allen and soft as a cupcake. This is the exact guy they need. Isaiah Stewart is the perfect backup center for the Cavs this offseason if they can manage to get him. Of course, he is going to cost money because that's how free agency works, but he is a super physical, dominant rim protector that I love for the Cavs, and they should absolutely go ahead and look at him. And while we're here, I am going to show you guys Giannis' stats just as a quick reminder. Pause if you need to. Of course, I've showed these before, but I just want to quickly run through them in case you forgot how good Giannis is, how how good he is. But there he is right there. But now we have another player here. Again, Isaiah Stewart. I did show you he does love to fight, and he does have a little bit of a culture issue, a little bit of a personality issue. He's really, really aggressive. But again, the Cavs kind of need a physical guy that's willing to get in the face of people and rim protector. I love Isaiah Stewart for the Cavs. This would be a phenomenal move. And shout out Bleacher Report for mentioning this guy, that the Cavs could get him, because I love this move for Isaiah Stewart. And the last guy that Bleacher Report mentioned, if you saw Dorian Finney-Smith right here, number 17 on the Lakers this year, was acquired via the Luka Doncic trade, which we all know about. Luka for Anthony Davis, Dorian Finney-Smith ended up on the Lakers. And it seemed like the Lakers might lose a lot of guys. It seems like LeBron's going to return, but they might lose Dorian Finney-Smith and Jackson Hayes, another center that could be big. He's super athletic, super young, that could be good for the Cavaliers. But Dorian Finney-Smith, this was the guy that helped the Mavericks in their NBA Finals run when they lost to the Celtics, not this current season, but the season before. This guy was just sparking the playoffs. And Dorian Finney-Smith is kind of like the Isaac Okoro replacement. He's the guy that is actually going to make shots. And he's not just going to stand in the corner. This guy's willing to create his own shot. He had an 8 3-pointer game in this game, in a playoff game against the 1 seed, to send them to the Western Conference Finals. This was an incredible performance by Dorian Finney-Smith. These are big-time buckets in the playoffs, and that's the exact thing the Cavs need. A guy that's willing to score in the playoffs, and you saw right there, 8 threes in one game, absolutely sparking the Phoenix Suns. That's what the Cavs need, a guy that's willing to shoot in the playoffs. And not only that, he's actually a phenomenal defender too. I'm going to show his offensive stats real quick for you guys. 9 points a game, 44% from the field, and if you see that, 41% from the three is phenomenal. That's elite in the NBA, guys. He is more of a catch-and-shoot three-point shooter, and he does shoot a pretty high volume of threes, but he actually makes them. And in the playoffs, he's proven that he can shoot in the playoffs. If you saw what he did for the Mavericks in their NBA Finals run, they made the NBA Finals with this guy. The Cavs haven't made it there yet since LeBron left. Or since LeBron's been in the league, they haven't made it without him. This is the biggest thing. This is my top free agent guy because he replaces Isaac Okoro. He's going to go on and play defense. And let me show you his defensive stats as well. Again, really hard to break down. So in case you don't know, it's going to tell you his percentage of guarding them and their value and their percentile of just overall. And you see it, 21% against point guards, 21% against shooting guards, 21% against power forwards, 19% against centers, and 15% against small forwards. Yes, there are D pluses, but he's actually in the top percentile of the league at guarding all 5 positions. He's one of the best in the league at it. Ask Lakers fans, bro. This guy clamps. Ask Mavericks fans. This guy plays phenomenal defense. He can guard 1 through 5. Again, another guy that can help Evan Mobley on defense when Jarrett Allen's being soft. This guy will come in, and instead of being like Isaac Okoro, being hidden in the corner, Dorian Finney-Smith will bring you more offense. Shoots 41% from 3, which is very elite in the NBA, and he can guard 1 through 5 at that high of a percentile. I absolutely love Dorian Finney-Smith for the Cavs, and that is all 3 free agents that the Cavs should acquire. Well, Giannis isn't a free agent, but he's available via trade. These are the guys that Bleacher Report says the Cavs should go ahead and get. Let me know how you guys feel about these 3 guys. For me personally, I am in love with what Bleacher Report said. Of course, we kind of talked about how Giannis is basically impossible to acquire due to the second apron. But Isaiah Stewart is very likely, and Dorian Finney-Smith is also very likely. Again, I'm going to show you guys these stats real quick in case you missed them. Just pause it if you need to. 3, 2, 1. Isaiah Stewart. Pause if you need to. 3, 2, 1. So there you go. I told you guys, Isaiah Stewart, yes, he is young and he's not the best on the offensive side, but he's super, super physical. Dorian Finney-Smith, yes, not the best shot creator, but he's a super high percentage three-point shooter with phenomenal defense. And Giannis would be a crazy positive, but you would lose youth and lose stretch a little bit. So Isaiah Stewart and Dorian Finney-Smith, definitely the Cavs should look into. And if you guys learned something from today's video, please drop a comment. How do you guys feel about these three free agents, that Bleacher Report mentioned, and should the Cavs go out and get them? I totally think yes, especially I'm starting to feel like the Cavs will lose Ty Jerome this offseason. You really need to add bench depth for guys that can play in the playoffs. Dorian Finney-Smith has proven it, and Isaiah Stewart is the perfect physical backup center when Jarrett Allen is being soft. That is it for me, guys. I'm Matt Palange. Thank you guys for joining me on Cavs Digest. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment. Let me know how you feel about these guys. Go hit the like button, share with your friends. And as always, I love you guys. Thank you guys for joining me.